The sky burned red over Seoul. Massive alien ships hung like dark metal mountains, their weaponry cutting through buildings and infrastructure with cold, calculated precision. Hyun Park watched from the underground command center, his eyes reflecting, the destruction streaming on multiple holographic screens. Sirens wailed. Explosions thundered across the city. Millions of civilians ran, their screams lost in the chaos of the alien invasion. The galactic hegemony had chosen Earth as its primary target, believing humans to be a weak, fragmented species ripe for total annihilation. Hyun's hands moved across the control panel, activating emergency protocols. He was a 42-year-old military strategist who had spent years preparing for a scenario most considered impossible, a full-scale alien invasion. His team of scientists and military personnel had always known humanity might face an existential threat, but nobody expected it to happen so suddenly. The alien ships looked like enormous obsidian blades cutting through clouds, their weapon systems firing continuous energy pulses that vaporized entire city blocks. Modern infrastructure collapsed like paper structures, turning concrete and steel into dust within seconds. Area, Hyun spoke calmly to the quantum AI system. Begin total data preservation and strategic response tracking. A soft blue holographic interface emerged, displaying complex mathematical calculations and potential response scenarios. Aria was more than just a computer system. It was humanity's most advanced artificial intelligence, capable of processing millions of tactical scenarios per second. Military bases around the world were being simultaneously attacked. Tokyo, New York, London, Moscow. No major city was safe. The alien strategy seemed designed to create maximum psychological and infrastructural damage, breaking human resistance before a ground invasion could begin. Hyun noticed something peculiar in the attack patterns. The aliens were methodical, almost mathematical in their destruction. They weren't simply trying to kill humans. They were systematically destroying communication networks, power grids, and key technological infrastructure. They want to isolate us, he muttered to himself, watching another massive energy pulse obliterate a research facility. Dr. Sarah Kim entered the command center, her face covered in dust and her lab coat torn. She carried a small data drive, something she had managed to save during the initial attack. They've destroyed the primary quantum research center, she reported, her voice steady despite the overwhelming destruction. But we managed to save critical weapon development files. Hyun nodded. Every piece of data, every fragment of technology could mean the difference between human survival and total extinction. Outside, the alien ships continued their relentless assault. Military jets attempted counterattacks, but their weapons seemed like mere mosquito bites against the massive alien vessels. Missiles exploded harmlessly against energy shields that absorbed and redirected destructive forces. The command center shook. Dust fell from the reinforced concrete ceiling. Hyun knew they had limited time before the aliens would start targeting underground facilities. Aria, he commanded, begin Thunderbolt Protocol initialization sequence. The AI's response was immediate. Complex algorithms started mapping potential weapon deployment strategies, using the data collected from the ongoing invasion. Sarah looked at Hyun, her eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and determination. They don't know what we're preparing, she said quietly. Hyun's lips formed a slight smile. The aliens believed they were executing a perfect, overwhelming first strike. They didn't understand human resilience, human innovation, or the secret weapons humanity had been developing in case of an impossible scenario. The invasion continued. Cities burned. Millions died. But in that underground command center, a plan was forming. A plan that would change the course of human history and teach the galactic hegemony a lesson they would never forget. Humanity was down, but far from defeated. The underground research facility was a maze of white corridors and sealed laboratories. Dr. Sarah Kim walked quickly, her footsteps echoing through the silent hallways. Survival was no longer just a scientific challenge. It was humanity's only remaining mission. 18 months had passed since the initial alien attack. The world looked different now. Scattered human populations lived in hidden underground cities, surviving on carefully rationed resources and burning with a single purpose. Revenge. Sarah's team worked around the clock. They weren't just scientists anymore. They were humanity's last hope. The small fusion bombs they were developing looked innocent, no larger than a human fist. Each device contained a quantum AI processor more powerful than entire computer networks. From just 2 years ago. "We need precision," Sarah told her team of 127 researchers. Young engineers and veteran scientists worked side by side, their fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. They knew one wrong calculation could mean the end of everything. The bombs were different from anything humans had created before. Traditional nuclear weapons were massive and destructive. These were tiny, intelligent weapons that could think, adapt, and navigate through impossible trajectories. Each bomb was essentially a miniature spacecraft with its own brain. ARIA, the quantum AI system, continuously calculated and recalculated potential attack scenarios. It analyzed alien defensive technologies, learning their weaknesses with each simulation. Millions of potential battle strategies were tested every second. Outside the facility, the world remained broken. Alien ships still patrolled Earth's atmosphere, believing they had already won. They didn't realize that humanity was preparing something unprecedented. Hyun Park visited the research center weekly. As the primary strategic commander, he understood that these small bombs represented humanity's entire future. His military background combined with Sarah's scientific genius created a perfect strategy. "We won't just fight," Hyun would say during strategy meetings. "We'll completely redefine warfare." The quantum AI processors in each bomb could communicate with each other instantaneously. They would create a living, thinking network of weapons that could adapt and respond faster than any known defensive system. No alien technology could predict or stop them. Funding was no longer an issue. Every remaining government and private resource had been redirected into this single project. Billions of dollars, years of research, and human desperation were concentrated into these tiny weapons. Sarah showed Hyun a prototype. It looked like a small metallic sphere, smooth and unremarkable. But when activated, it could navigate through complex defensive systems, adjust its trajectory in microseconds, and strike with pinpoint accuracy. "Each bomb is smarter than most computers," she explained. "They can learn, adapt, and work together." The research facility became a beacon of hope. While the rest of the world mourned, these scientists were building humanity's ultimate weapon. They worked in shifts, sleeping in small quarters adjacent to their labs, driven by a mix of revenge and survival. ARIA continued its endless calculations. The AI had become more than just a computer system. It was humanity's strategic brain, processing scenarios that no human mind could comprehend. Hyun understood the bigger picture. This wasn't just about destroying the aliens, this was about sending a message. Humanity would not be conquered. They would not become another forgotten species in the galaxy's history. The bombs were more than weapons. They were a statement of human resilience, innovation, and unbreakable spirit. As weeks turned into months, the facility hummed with potential energy. Thousands of bombs were carefully constructed, each one a tiny marvel of human engineering. They waited quietly, like a sleeping army ready to be awakened. The aliens thought they had won. They were wrong. Humanity was preparing its ultimate response. The moment arrived without warning. 100,000 bombs launched simultaneously across multiple star systems, a silent and deadly wave of human technology. Admiral Jun Lee watched the tactical displays, his hands steady and his breath calm. Years of preparation had led to this single moment. The bombs moved like invisible ghosts, quantum technology allowing them to bypass every known alien defensive system. ARIA's voice echoed softly in the command center. Primary targets acquired, precision at 99.8%. The first wave struck with mathematical perfection. Alien command structures, which had seemed invincible during their initial attack on Earth, began to crumble. Communication networks collapsed. Defensive platforms imploded. The galactic hegemonies, interconnected systems, became their own worst enemy. Each bomb carried a unique quantum AI processor that could think, adapt, and communicate instantaneously. They worked like a single living organism, sharing information and adjusting trajectories in microseconds. No alien technology could predict or stop their coordinated assault. In the first hour, 37 major alien star systems lost their primary command centers. Massive installations that had taken centuries to build disappeared in brilliant flashes of controlled nuclear fusion. The bombs didn't just destroy, they surgically removed the hegemony's ability to coordinate its massive military machine. Park watched the initial reports with a cold, calculated expression. This wasn't just revenge. This was a strategic dismantling of an entire galactic civilization. They thought we were weak, he muttered to Sarah, who stood beside him monitoring. The system's alien communication channels became a mess of panic and confusion. Their advanced technology, which had seemed so superior during the initial Earth invasion, now worked against them. Each communication attempt revealed more about their remaining defense structures. Arya continued its relentless analysis. The quantum AI was learning with each passing second, adapting its strategy faster than any biological intelligence could comprehend. The bombs were more than weapons. They were a message. Humanity would not be forgotten. Humanity would not be conquered. Some bombs targeted industrial complexes. Others focused on military command centers. A few were designed to destroy critical communication satellites. The attack was so precise, so calculated, that the aliens couldn't even understand what was happening. In orbit around alien homeworlds, massive defense platforms suddenly went dark. Entire fleets found themselves without coordination, their advanced systems mysteriously paralyzed. The bombs didn't just destroy, they confused, disrupted, and dismantled. Admiral Jun Lee allowed himself a small smile. Humanity's most advanced weapon wasn't a massive battleship or a powerful laser. It was intelligence, adaptability, the ability to turn an enemy's strength into its greatest weakness. First wave complete, Arya announced. Estimated alien command, structure disruption, 62%. Sarah looked at the displays, her scientific mind processing the incredible achievement. These weren't just weapons. They were a testament to human innovation, to the power of human creativity when faced with extinction. The initial assault lasted less than 6 hours, but in those 6 hours the entire galactic power structure changed forever. The hegemony, which had believed humans to be a primitive species ripe for conquest, now faced a technological nightmare of its own making. Each bomb was a piece of human determination, each explosion a statement of human survival. Hyun knew this was just the beginning. The remaining 400,000 bombs were prepared, waiting for their moment. The galaxy would learn a simple, brutal lesson. Never underestimate humanity. The first wave was complete. The real war was just starting. The remaining 400,000 bombs transformed from weapons into a living, thinking network of destruction. Each device carried more computing power than entire alien civilizations, targeting systems with surgical precision that defied imagination. Admiral Jun Lee watched as entire star systems began to vanish. The quantum AI bombs didn't just destroy, they systematically dismantled the galactic hegemony's infrastructure, turning their own technological networks into weapons of total annihilation. Arya's voice remained calm. Targeting sequence initiated. Probability of complete systemic collapse, 99.7%. The bombs moved like a synchronized dance of death. They communicated faster than light, sharing information and adjusting strategies in microseconds. Industrial complexes collapsed, military bases disappeared, communication networks crumbled into cosmic dust. Alien species began to panic. Their unified structure, once considered the most advanced in the galaxy, began to fracture. Species that had worked together for thousands of years suddenly turned on each other, suspecting internal betrayal. Hyun Park observed the tactical displays, his face a mask of calm determination. Humanity had transformed from a seemingly defeated species into the most dangerous force the galaxy had ever witnessed. Each bomb was a tiny marvel of human engineering. They could navigate through impossible defensive systems, adapt to changing environments, and strike with pinpoint accuracy. No alien technology could predict or stop their coordinated assault. On the outskirts of alien territories, entire planetary systems went dark. Massive defense platforms, once considered invincible, became nothing more than floating debris. The bombs didn't just destroy physical infrastructure, they dismantled entire technological ecosystems. Area continued its relentless calculation. Secondary target groups neutralized, beginning advanced disruption protocols. The quantum AI bombs became more than weapons. They were a living, thinking network that could learn and adapt faster than any biological intelligence. They shared information instantaneously, creating a collective intelligence that was beyond alien comprehension. Sarah Kim watched the displays, her scientific mind both terrified and amazed. These weren't just weapons. They were the ultimate expression of human innovation and survival instinct. Multiple alien species began to fragment. The hegemony's complex political structure, built over thousands of years, collapsed within days. Communication became impossible. Defense became a nightmare. Each bomb was a surgical strike that targeted not just physical infrastructure, but the very concept of alien technological superiority. Admiral Jun Lee allowed himself a moment of reflection. Humanity had transformed from a seemingly defeated species into the most dangerous force in the galaxy. Their weapons weren't just destructive, they were intelligent, adaptive, and relentless. The bombs targeted everything: industrial centers, military bases, communication networks, research facilities. Nothing was safe. The quantum AI systems could predict and neutralize defensive strategies before they could even be implemented. Hyun understood the bigger picture. This wasn't just about revenge. This was about sending a message to the entire galaxy. Humanity would not be conquered. They would not be forgotten. Arya's voice remained emotionless. Comprehensive system breakdown at 78%. Estimated complete. Galactic disruption. Within 72 hours. The alien species that had once considered humans primitive now faced total extinction. Their advanced technologies became their own worst nightmare. Each communication attempt revealed more vulnerabilities. Each defensive strategy was instantly neutralized. The bombs moved like a living organism. They adapted. They learned. They destroyed. In the cold vacuum of space, humanity's ultimate weapon continued its relentless assault. No alien technology could stop them. No defensive system could predict them. Humanity had become the most dangerous species in the galaxy, and they were just getting started. The galaxy looked different now. Where massive alien civilizations once ruled, only scattered remnants remained. Earth stood as the new center of galactic civilization, its transformation complete and absolute. Captain Hyun Park stood on the observation deck of the reconstruction flagship, watching new human colonies being established on planets once controlled by the alien hegemony. The view was both beautiful and terrifying, a testament to human survival and innovation. Arya's holographic representation flickered beside him. Planetary integration at 67%, alien technology reverse engineering progress 83% complete. Humanity had done more than survive. They had conquered. The quantum AI bombs that had destroyed the hegemony were now being studied by the brightest human scientists. Dr. Sarah Kim led a team that was breaking down and understanding technologies that had taken alien civilizations thousands of years to develop. New space stations emerged around strategic planetary systems. Human engineers worked quickly, transforming alien infrastructure into human-controlled networks. What was once a threat became an opportunity for expansion and growth. Military academies were filled with young recruits learning about the great invasion and humanity's ultimate victory. Children studied the technological innovations that had saved their species. Every school taught the same lesson: human innovation could overcome any challenge. Admiral Jun Lee oversaw the new galactic defense strategy. Massive space fleets were constructed using reverse-engineered alien technologies. Quantum communication networks now spanned hundreds of star systems, all controlled by human intelligence. The remaining alien species were given a choice: integrate or be isolated. Most chose integration, understanding that resistance meant total destruction. Human policies were surprisingly fair, but absolutely firm. Arya continued its endless calculations. The quantum AI had become more than just a computer system. It was humanity's strategic brain, managing complex galactic interactions with mathematical precision. Entire planetary ecosystems were transformed. Alien agricultural technologies were adapted to human needs. Medical systems that had taken thousands of years to develop were now being used to enhance human capabilities. Yun understood this was more than a military victory. This was a complete reset of galactic civilization. Humanity had moved from being a potential extinct species to the most dominant technological force in the known universe. Research facilities popped up on newly colonized planets. Scientists worked around the clock, studying everything from alien propulsion systems to complex quantum communication technologies. Each discovery pushed human understanding further. The economic potential was enormous. Alien resource-rich planets became new human colonies. Trade routes that had existed for millennia were now controlled by human strategists. The galaxy's economic structure was completely rewritten. Sarah's research teams made breakthrough after breakthrough. Alien medical technologies were adapted to cure diseases that had plagued humans for centuries. Propulsion systems allowed faster-than-light travel that was once considered impossible. Arya's voice remained calm. Galactic integration. Progress continuing at optimal levels. Military academies now taught a new philosophy: innovation, adaptation, survival. The lessons learned from the Great Invasion became the cornerstone of human strategic thinking. Captain Hyun Park watched a new human colony being established on a planet that had once been a critical alien military base. Children played in environments transformed by human engineering. The future looked bright. The quantum AI bombs that had saved humanity now became tools of exploration and development. Their incredible computing power was used to solve complex scientific and technological challenges. Humanity had done more than survive an invasion. They had transformed the entire galactic civilization. Arya's holographic representation looked at Hyun. "We conquered," the AI said simply. Hyun smiled. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had arrived.